Yay, you
And
hit record.
I know I got it right. And we're admitting the whole group.
Beautiful.
I love Zoom. The fact that I can be sitting at the beach right now and having this kind of meeting is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You are, aren't you?
I wish. Unfortunately, that's just a virtual background.
Oh,
It should be the beach. It
you
should be the
spoiled it
beach.
for me. I thought you were taking in some of the cool breezes off the ocean there.
One of these days. All right. Well, it looks like we've got a few more people trickling in. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys could make it.
Smiling faces this morning. Everybody's happy. It's hump day. Steve Salquist, my man, the legend, is here with us today.
Hey.
I saw he was up at Munich House here a couple weeks ago up in Pine Top.
Yeah, we love that place.
Yeah, it's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, Dunkel on tap.
You gotta love it, man. Where else can you get that?
Yeah, nice weather. You been up there a lot lately, Shane?
You know what? I was up there a couple weeks ago. And we were up Labor Day. I mean, and we'll be going up again in a couple weeks again. I'm curious though. I mean, with the way the weather's changing, we're gonna start seeing fall colors here pretty soon up there.
Yeah, that'll be
It's getting in the
beautiful.
40s at night, which is
Yeah, every time I go up there, I'm like, we need to go up here more often. It's just too nice.
It's beautiful up there. Yeah.
Especially when we have a scorching summer like we had this summer. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Makes you appreciate it that much more when you're up there and get out of the heat.
Yeah, the home prices up there are going crazy.
Yes, they are.
That's a great segue. Steve, you should be on our Friday morning call. That's been a topic of discussion here the last couple of weeks as far as inventory and prices, especially up there in the White Mountains.
I'm going to share something here real quick and also share it on Friday for the coffee meeting too. But people are going to get a sneak peek today of what I've worked up, what I've concocted here. Still got people coming in?
Yeah, we've got a couple people trickling in here, but pretty much we're going to be ready to go when you are. I think we've got a full house and then some.
Okay, you want me to kick then? You want me to kick this off and get us going here?
Kick it off.
Man, this is a lot of pressure, folks, let me tell you. Hey, well, good morning. For those that don't know me, my name is Shane Sauer. I'm sales manager here at Greystone Title Agency. It's a real pleasure to be able to get Emma today, and my buddy Kirk is here with me. Kirk and I actually do a little coffee meeting on Friday morning, so join us then. You probably get invites for that. We have a lot of fun with that. Emma joins us about every other week or so with some tidbits, and this is a great event. I had a lot of people that couldn't make it today that were hoping it was recorded, and it is. So awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Well, what I do here is marketing. I want to show you guys a couple of little things that that I can help you with here real quick, and I will touch on this briefly. We'll get into Kirk, and then we'll get Emma going here. But I want to share my screen real quick if I can. So for those that haven't seen this before, this is our market update. It comes out on Wednesday morning. So folks got this morning, and I can always tell because my phone blows up because I get notifications anytime anyone looks at these reports or shares them or does whatever. Super easy to share. If you like to get them, let me know, but it's super easy to share. You can email them, put them on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. This is a great thing for what we're talking about today because you can share this on Facebook. And yes, even people in California will see these things. So you can kind of share other parts of the valley, cities, or zip codes. You've got a little call me button here. So when people open these up on their phones, they can hit that little button and contact you right away with and talk about what they're looking at here. It does show you median list price, which has gone up in Chandler over last week. Shows you inventory, shows you a lot of really cool things. Little buyer seller index here, which is consistently pointing towards the seller like it has been for months and months and months, and it's been very high. It's very interactive online. So if you've got folks that pick this up on Facebook and look at it, they can do what I'm doing here. They can kind of look at this thing, see what's going on, see what happened here. You can look at inventory if you want to, but inventory has been creaking up a little bit across the valley here. Interesting stuff. You can see last week what happened, new inventory, what was sold last week in Chandler. A lot of neat things to look at. Plus, you can search on this whole thing too. You can search other zip codes or cities. I do want to show you one quick thing, and let me see if I can bring this up, and you'll be able to look at my desktop real quick, which is really exciting. Hopefully, you can still see this. Kirk, can you see this?
I can see it. Looks good.
Okay. Okay, I worked this up on Monday, so I get these reports a little bit early. They go out to the agents on Wednesdays. I get them on Monday. So I put this little thing together. I'm going to continue to do this as we go on because I'm very interested in what's happening with inventory and stuff across the valley. I put valley cities in here. I also went outside the valley. I know, Steve, you were talking about that a few minutes ago, prices and stuff outside the valley here and where things are going. I mean, here's Pine Top sitting at $550, as a median list price. Even Lakeside is up, $375. But it's really interesting stuff. You can see really week to week what's going on and how inventory is kind of going. It's trickled down some. Prices are going up, as you might have guessed. But it's really neat to see this stuff side by side and see how these cities compare. If you would like this chart or the market updates, let me know. I'd be more than happy to share that with you. The market updates come weekly. This thing, I will be putting this together every Monday morning now. I put it into my routine here. So if you'd like to start getting these things, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help. So with that, keep me posted. Love the opportunity to work with you. I'll kick it over to Kirk, and we'll get going today.
Oh, that's good stuff, Shane. Every time you run those reports, they're fascinating. I love seeing the trends, where we're going. Unfortunately, inventory seems to be just crazy low and doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. So that's going to make for an interesting market as we head into the holidays. Real quick, I don't have anything specific planned here as an intro other than for those of you guys who don't know me, who aren't in on our Friday morning calls or who hasn't been to one of our classes at my branch office, and nobody's been to those since at least March or February since COVID hit. My name is Kirk Brewer. I'm the branch manager at Finance of America Mortgage, the Chandler branch. I've been a mortgage originator 19 years, going on 20, all here in the Southeast Valley, though I hold licenses in a couple other states like California and Washington as well. So I'd love an opportunity to work with you guys as well and show you what we've got going on at Finance of America. We're really good at what we do. We've got tremendous pricing as well. I do want to share one quick program with you. So let's see if I can figure out how to share screens. It's always a little bit of a challenge here. Some of you who have been to some of our classes probably already know about this program. Can you see my screen there? Yeah. We've got a program called the Community Heroes Program, and this isn't just kind of a fly-by-night program that we just launched here the last couple months. Folks like Steve who have been to our classes several times and Darcy, they would know we've had this program actually in place for a few years now. It's a program that's kind of near and dear to my heart. And what it is it's a full $1,000 closing cost credit to folks that are within this program designated as community heroes. And so what that is it's a big discount for law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, medical professionals, as well as active duty and retired military. And the program's also good, not just for purchases, but for refinances as well. So if you guys know anybody in those professions looking to refinance, definitely send them my way. But if you have some buyers you're working with that are in those professions as well, not only do we have great rates, but we can also save them an additional $1,000 off of their closing costs. And I think right now we all kind of know it's probably difficult to get seller concessions in this market. So $1,000 off their closing costs would probably be pretty welcome. So that's all I've got for you guys. Really great to see everybody here this morning. And with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen and I am going to kick this over to Emma.
Beautiful. Hello, everyone. So I will introduce myself for those of you who have not seen me before. But yeah, I think I've seen a lot of you already. I see some of our customers in the crowd today, so that's beautiful. You guys are going to have a leg up on everything I'm talking about today. So that's good to see. But my name is Emma, and I am one of the co-founders of Remodel Social. And I've actually been in the digital marketing world for over 5 years now. I originally started my own agency where we worked on larger retainer contracts with organizations like Arizona PBS and TGen. And as we went along, there was always a demand for a more affordable solution for small business owners like real estate agents. So that was how Remodel Social was born. And through Remodel Social, we offer automated Facebook posting for Arizona real estate agents. And what's unique about what we provide is that we tailor our content to the agent, so they actually get content that is personalized to the communities they target and the interests they have. So it's a great option for anyone who struggles to post consistently and has a hard time coming up with post ideas outside of, here's my listing, here's my open house, and that kind of a thing. So I'll talk a little bit more about what we offer as I go through the rest of the class, but just keep in mind that you do get a discount on our services through Shane and Greystone Title, which means that our prices start at only $26 a month. So it is a really great value for busy agents who don't have the time to be coming up with Facebook posts. So with that, I will flip this over to my screen and we can start. Okay, let me know when you can see it. Can you see that? Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. Beautiful. Okay, so as I go through this, if you guys have any questions, just throw them in the chat, or you can just unmute yourselves. I'll pause every so often for questions. So just let me know, and don't worry too much about scribbling everything down. I will be following up with an email that has a PDF with a lot of this information in it. So don't panic that you're missing stuff or not getting screenshots or that kind of a thing, because I'll send it all after the class. And then if Kirk or Shane, if you guys just want to tell me if there's questions in the chat, I think that would probably be easier than me toggling back and forth. So if you guys are cool with that, that's perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take care of that for you.
Beautiful. Okay, so as you know, we're going to be talking about how you can target the influx of California buyers using Facebook. So I'm mostly going to be talking about organic ways to do this today, which means you won't need to put aside money for ad spend, but I will touch briefly on some rules to keep in mind when you are dabbling in the world of Facebook ads. So as we've been diving into this topic more and more, it's become clear that most agents who are representing California buyers have gotten them as a referral. So the first thing we'll cover is just how to be searchable to an out-of-state buyer who has gotten your name from someone else and is now Googling you. It is good to remember that Facebook is the biggest social media platform out there, so it is key to being searchable online. Since it is such a large site, it's already very credible in the eyes of search engines, so when you maintain an active presence, that's going to draw your page closer to the top of search results. So, it's 2020. We know people are Googling us. It's important that they find what we want them to find. Okay, so these are some of the general things to keep in mind when you're setting up your page to be ultra searchable. So first of all, you want to have your full name in your page name, because when someone is searching you, they're typically going to type your first and last name and then potentially a keyword like real estate or Arizona, especially if you have a common name. So having your full name in the page name itself is super important. And then you also want to be sure you're in the right page category. So that is going to be in your About section or your page info section, depending on if you have switched over to the new Facebook yet. If you're in new Facebook, that's going to be in your page info tab. So there's two places that might be, but it's going to tell you what category your page is under, and it's usually something you picked when you first set up the page. So it's good to check and just make sure you're under the real estate agent category. And you can pick up to 3 of those categories, but just make sure real estate agent is one of them. And then the next thing to check is your call to action button. This is the blue button that shows up under the cover photo on your page. And we always recommend that agents set that button to say call now so that anyone who finds your page can instantly get in touch with you. A lot of people ask me, wait, they're on Facebook. What if they want to Facebook message me? Setting your button to call now does not take away their ability to message you if that button remains as well. It just gives them another option if they do instantly want to get in touch with you. And then finally, just remember to load some keywords into your About section. You should try to have both local and niche keywords in that section. So try to include things about Arizona, real estate, and even name drop some of the specific communities that you work in or are known for working in. Any questions about setting up your page before I move on? Nope, good to go. Okay.
The only question I would have, Emma, is those of us who aren't super adept with Facebook, and you and I have had this conversation, I'm not one of those people. I'm getting better with the new Facebook, but this is something you could help people with, right? For those
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we, outside of our content services, we do also offer a page remodel service. And so that is a flat fee, and I will help you set up your page. I can either help you with your existing one, or I can just set one up for you. And that includes designing a compliant cover photo as well. So we do help with that if that is something you need. Okay, so now we'll talk about how that applies to being searchable to California buyers specifically. Obviously, the basic searchability rules of having an active page still apply, but we can go more into depth on how you can make sure your online presence is going to appeal to an out-of-state buyer. So basically, we just have to think about what's different to an out-of-state buyer than to someone local. Chances are they probably know at least one person they trust in Arizona, and that's who they're going to ask for a referral for a real estate agent. So when they get a name, which is hopefully yours, your job is just to make sure that they can A, find you easily, and B, find the traits they're looking for in an agent. The way to stand out here is to make sure that your online presence makes it very obvious that you understand their struggles. So you understand that buying in a new state is stressful, that they're going to need more guidance on areas and neighborhoods, that they really need an agent who is going to be able to think through their needs and identify the perfect home for them. So if you have relocation training and certification, that's even better. All of that should come across in your profile. And then another thing to keep in mind is just that obviously moving out of state always starts as a seed of an idea, right? Not many people wake up and move, so it's always something that is going to be something they're thinking about. So if someone is considering an Arizona move and starts following your Facebook business page, you need to make sure that the content you're posting is affirming their decision. You can do that by posting things like cost of living comparisons, beautiful homes available, general perks of Arizona living, and all of that kind of stuff is going to help make people more confident in their decision to make the move. And then you can also help them by educating them on the process. So you can talk about things like how to identify earnest money scams and why they shouldn't just use the listing agent for the house they're interested in buying. And then finally, you want to think about keywords that are relevant to these buyers. So if an out-of-state lead is Googling you, you want them to be able to quickly establish that you are experienced in helping buyers like them. So just remember that when you're loading your keywords into your page. Any questions about keywords, searchability, anything like that? Nope, okay. So now that we've covered how to make sure you're converting any out-of-state referrals that are searching for you online, we'll talk about how you can actually target California buyers when you have a listing here that you're trying to get in front of those people. So if you want to generate interest among California buyers, it's good to think about why Arizona is appealing to them. So we generally see three main reasons that surface again and again when people are looking to move from California, and those are cost of living, traffic congestion, and property taxes. So chances are a California buyer is already thinking about this stuff, so if you can keep mentioning it and driving it home with cost of living comparisons, affordable homes, and things like that, you'll make their decision a much easier one. And then as a general listing tip, you always want to be sure to include bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and MLS link. We see a lot of agents forget to include these main points, and that is all stuff that people are going to be looking for. And I do have this screenshot in the PDF that I'm going to send you guys, so don't worry about that. Any questions about listing stuff before I move on? No? Okay. So once you have written up a listing description that's going to appeal to California buyers and you've loaded your page with some content showing how great it is to live in Arizona, that's a good time to venture into the world of Facebook ads and make sure that your listing is going to get some exposure in California. This also applies to if you are trying to run lead ads or anything like that. All of this is going to be relevant. So thanks to the HUD lawsuit a few years back, Facebook has very strict targeting options when it comes to housing. So you need to be careful when running ads and just keep a few of these things in mind. The most important thing to remember is that you need to toggle on the special ad category for housing, otherwise your ads are going to get instantly denied. This is the #1 mistake that we see agents make, and especially now, Facebook just extended their work from home again until I think July 2021 is where we're at. So they're down a lot of their on-site employees due to coronavirus. So if you forget to toggle this on, it's more than likely a bot that is going to kill your ad, and then it can be very difficult to get a hold of a human that can reverse that decision for you. So it is an easy thing to do as long as you know to look for it. And the nice thing is that once you toggle that on, it's going to lock some of the targeting features so that it is harder for you to make mistakes. So let me just show you what that looks like. So these screenshots are exactly what it's going to look like if you hit boost on any of your posts. If you're taking the time to write out a listing post that's going to appeal to California buyers, you might as well get it in front of some of those people by putting some money behind the ad. And if you are at a more advanced level and want to do this in Ads Manager, it's also going to look very similar. So you can see in the corner over here that once you toggle on this setting, it's going to have a drop down that asks you which special ad category you belong to. And then when you click housing, you'll see this little box that says audience adjusted to follow policies. So you can see that what that does is automatically locks gender and age targeting. It will not let me mess with either of those. But you can still make a mistake with the location targeting if you don't know the rule, which is just the 15-mile rule. And that just means when you're doing location targeting, you have to allow at least a 15-mile radius out from where you're trying to pinpoint. You can always go more than 15 miles out, but the HUD rule is to go at least 15 miles out from any one point because they don't want you targeting certain rich neighborhoods or anything like that. So really the two main things to remember are just toggle on the special ad category, and then go 15 miles out from any one point. And then there will also be a few interest options for you to choose from, and these do change all the time. I grabbed this screenshot from the other day, so if you're running an ad anytime soon, these might still be available. But basically, you just want to think through the logic of what someone may be interested in if they are considering a move to Arizona. So as you can see in the screenshot, they might have been browsing homes on Zillow, they might have already reached out to lenders and gotten pre-qualified, or they might be in this interest category that Facebook pulled called house hunting. So the nice thing is that once you pick a couple of these that make sense, Facebook will actually suggest more of them if you hit this little suggestions button in the corner. So that's a good way to add interests. And then the other way that you can narrow your audience is with your actual ad copy. So while you can't target your audience to only people who make over a certain amount of money per year, you can include the home price prominently in your ad copy, which is going to cause buyers who can't afford the home to keep scrolling and almost filter themselves in a way. Sorry guys, I do live on Arizona Avenue. It gets so loud here. I apologize, you guys can hear motorcycles right now. But anyway, so the moral of the story here is just that Facebook is being overly cautious with their targeting restrictions for housing, but you can still get creative to target the audience that you want. Any questions on ads, targeting, anything like that before I move on?
I was wondering about the 55 and older. I think you might have answered that, but I'm guessing we can't do 55 and older.
Yeah, you cannot do that. The way I tell people, and I think, Ted, I think we even talked about this, the way I tell people to try to target those older demographics in a sneakier way is to add a couple of interests that are going to be interests of that demographic. So for example, you could throw golfing into this kind of targeting, and then you are going to get naturally just a skewed up demographic, if that makes sense.
Active lifestyles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there's ways to get around that, but no, you cannot say 55 plus, which is ridiculous, but that's what it is. That's Facebook.
Emma, when you do the post, I'm sorry, this was a couple slides back, but
Oh, you're fine.
I saw that your logo is up on the post. So is that how it appears in our feed?
Let me head back so I know what you're talking about. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yes, that is how it shows up. So you can see where it says Remodel Social, it has our logo and our name. That's going to have your business page's profile picture and your business page's name.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so the other thing with that is just, yeah. So anytime you're posting anything, your business page name is going to be attached. And people are always worried about compliance when they post listings. I always see people trying to throw in, equal housing, or they'll try to get the logos on the pictures or something like that. There's something with social media advertising on Facebook, and it's called the one-click rule. And that basically just means that if they can get to those logos in one click, then you're fine. So have them in your cover photo on your page, and that way you are totally fine for compliance reasons. You're probably not going to get called out for that anyway, but it's always safe to just do it that way. Okay, so let me just...
A couple quick questions here, Emma.
Yeah, go for it.
So in your ad, can you say active adult? Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, you can definitely say active adult. It's just the targeting that's going to be locked. So as I said, yeah, you can use your ad copy to target better. So that would be another way to do it.
In your ad copy, can you say 55 plus?
Yes, yeah.
Cool, okay.
Emma, quick question. This slide, is it the boost or is it the ad?
So this is a boost. And so, as I said, if you're more advanced and you want to be an ads manager, you can absolutely do that. You are someone limited in boosting for adding interests, because if you do this in ads manager, it will let you basically stack interests. So you can say, I want people who are interested in Arizona and they're house hunting. Whereas, as you can see in this screenshot, you can only say, I want someone who is a first-time home buyer or looked at homes.com or is house hunting. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Anything
the ad
else?
copy, does it have to be a specific home, or can we put in a generic ad? Homes of, basically not a specific home, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you can definitely do not a specific home. It's a really good idea to just have, even examples of your past listings or another listing at your brokerage where you can just say, hey, look at the kind of house you can get for $400K in Arizona, just to give people an idea of what that looks like. So yeah, it doesn't specifically have to be your listing or anything like that when you're running these ads.
So you could put homes like this, or
Mhm.
homes. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
They're just going so fast, it's hard to have it's like catching a falling knife. If you're
I
trying
know. Yep, I get that. Okay. Anything else? Don't want to leave anybody out.
There is a comment here. I know hashtags are important on Instagram, but how helpful are they to use on Facebook?
I do get that question a lot. My personal opinion on hashtags on Facebook are that they clutter your posts and they are not super helpful. Have you ever gone into Facebook and typed in a hashtag? Probably not. That's just not how people use hashtags. And while Facebook has made them clickable, they are being very cagey about saying whether or not they're actually helpful. So I don't like them. I think it just adds clutter to your post and makes it look worse. But it's up to you if you have seen success with that. You can always run your own tests. I have run my own tests, and that's where I stand on it. But it is kind of a personal preference.
And the hashtag, the Facebook ad that will transfer over to Instagram just fine, we don't have to worry about hashtags in that case either, right?
Oh yeah, if you have money behind an ad, it's going to do well no matter what. So you really, yeah, especially if you're doing an ad on Instagram, I wouldn't worry too much about the hashtags because you're setting who it's going to go to. So you don't really need to worry about getting extra searchability for that because you're already telling it where to go, if that makes sense.
As well.
And then one other comment here. Is there any benefit to, say, tagging a local business in your posts as far as generating more traffic?
Um, Somewhat. Yeah, I would say a little bit there is just because you are kind of poaching their audience a little bit. So anything that they're tagged in, there's a chance that their fans might see it, and then there's also a chance that they see it and share it. So if that is something that you're able to do, it can get a little bit tricky. I always caution people when they're trying to do tagging because tagging can get tricky. You want to have the exact username of the page that you're trying to tag because if you don't, sometimes it'll pull like that same business name but in Idaho or something, and that ends up being what you tag. So just be really careful that you're tagging the right business when you do that kind of stuff. But yes, I would say it is going to be helpful for getting your post to more people.
Yeah, or just your page in general, right? If you're just
Yeah.
a general tagging of another business because they're great and you love them.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
Is that it?
That's it on the chat questions for now.
Beautiful. Okay. So the other great place for finding California buyers is going to be Facebook groups. And groups are an incredibly useful tool for connecting with out-of-state buyers, but you just need to be careful because a lot of these groups are started by real estate agents or have rules about what real estate agents can and cannot do. So just make sure that you're finding ones that look friendly to real estate agents because you do not want to be in a group and then immediately kicked out, right? So just pay attention to the rules when you're doing this kind of stuff. But if you do go into Facebook, you can type something like moving to Arizona in the search bar. You'll see it pulls up multiple groups. It's always good to join these and see if you can be a resource for people and win their trust. My favorite group right now, if you guys are looking for groups, is called Arizona Dreams. Those are fine for you to post. You know, if you're a real estate agent and you want to post all day long about your business, they don't care about that kind of stuff. So that is a good group if you are wanting to do that kind of a thing. These are a few screenshots I grabbed from that group, actually. So you can see that people have a lot of questions about what areas to live in and what living in Arizona is like. So as I mentioned, a lot of these groups have rules about self-promotion, but there's nothing stopping you from being honest and helpful to people, which is going to get them engaging with you and curious about using you as a real estate agent. So participating in groups and winning people over like this is obviously going to be more of a long-term strategy for agents who do have the time to be commenting back and forth and building these relationships. But it is an ideal strategy for targeting out-of-state buyers because these groups are literally captive communities of people who are looking to move here and have questions that you can probably answer. So that is a really good way to do that as well. Any questions about groups before I move on? Nope. Okay. So now you have created interest from, once you have created interest from a California buyer via referral, Facebook group, Facebook ads, something like that, it is important that your Facebook business page looks perfect for when that person searches you and finds it. So you'll want your page to look legitimate and attended to. So this is a question we get a lot from agents. They want to know the bare minimum they should post to keep their page looking active and attended to for anyone who does happen across it, either by searching for you or by clicking through on an ad, as we were talking about earlier. Anything you post is going to have your business page attached, so it's super easy for people to click back to. So you just need to make sure that it's going to look good when they do click back to it. So this is a quote from a report that Facebook put out earlier this year where they were giving their users an idea of how the algorithm works. And their own report basically states that you should only post what you can keep up with and that consistency rules above all else. And while it would be great if you could post every day or twice a day, that is not sustainable for most of the agents we've come across. So knowing that the algorithm values consistency above all else, the bare minimum we recommend is twice per week. So for example, if you can commit to posting every Tuesday and Friday, then you can ensure that whenever someone lands on your page, they're never going to see anything that is more than 4 days old. So that is a pretty good rule of thumb if you're just trying to make sure that you have the bare minimum of content on your page. But that obviously begs the question, if you're going to be coming up with 2 posts per week, what should they be? It can be really hard to come up with solid post ideas on a regular basis, and you also don't want to bore your followers with exclusively posts about listings and open houses. So the other posts that we recommend having on your page are what we call anything but houses, which is basically all the types of content that are going to keep your followers interested and demonstrate your human side. So we generally keep in mind the 80-20 rule here, which is that 80% of your content needs to be not promotional, and then 20% can be promotional. The promotional stuff is pretty easy. That's going to be your open houses, your new listings, your client success stories, stuff like that. The 80% of non-promotional stuff can get a little bit trickier. So an easy way to remember what counts as non-promotional is to remember the acronym ABH, anything but houses. If you have been in any of my classes before, you've heard me talk about this stuff many times, but since we're pretty sure you guys are experts in the house category, I'm going to go over the anything but houses category. So the first thing to focus on is just presenting yourself as a human, right? People want to like who they're working with. So if you can integrate your interests and hobbies so that people can relate to you on a personal level, that's really going to help. So we can go through some examples here. So for example, if you're interested in outdoor activities, you can post things like your favorite hiking spots or walking trails. If you're interested in animal rescue, you can post adoption events or pet safety tips. And these kinds of things are going to help you appear relatable and less like a real estate robot. And then another thing you want your post to reflect is your local expertise. People might be following your page because they're interested in moving to Arizona or interested in relocating within Arizona. So you want to have plenty of posts about why it's great to live here and the different attractions in your target communities. So some examples for that, you can post about how the cost of living is very reasonable in Arizona, how our streets are very easy to navigate, how we have great weather year round, and things like that. And if you focus on a community like the East Valley, for example, you can post about things like Veterans Oasis Park or cool museums like the Mesa Museum of Natural History. And these kind of posts are going to serve 2 purposes. 1, to show people that you know your stuff, and 2, to show people how cool Arizona is and that there's awesome stuff to do in the communities that you target. I think I saw a question go in the chat. Do we want to see if I can answer something really quick?
Yeah, the question is, will you be discussing integrating with Instagram?
So I do not cover Instagram in this class, but if you have any specific Instagram questions and you want to get in touch with me afterwards, you can definitely do that. You can get my contact information from Shane. We could also throw it in the chat. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions about Instagram, but I do not cover that in my classes. And then so as I was saying, another content you can focus on, another content area you can focus on is real estate tips and tricks. So obviously that category skirts the line between promotional and not promotional, but it is a really good way to show off your expert advice for people who are considering buying or selling a house. So you can give people tips and tricks for moving, advice for browsing available houses, and even ROI for home improvement projects, because that's stuff that people might not be thinking about day to day, and so it's good information for you to share. And it's also a great platform for sharing your recommendations for things like contractors, title agencies, and mortgage lenders like Greystone and Finance of America. So if you are having trouble coming up with these posts, we offer an easy way to have this off your plate. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we offer a special discount through Greystone Title, which means that starting at $26 a month, you can get personalized posts that go out 2, 3, or 4 times per week. These are some of the examples of the types of posts we write for our agents and the links that we share. So you can see that we follow a similar pattern of making sure there's an engaging mix of content going out at all times. We like to highlight local attractions in the communities our agents work in, as well as give general tips on why people should be using real estate agents, why it's great to live in Arizona, why they should live here and not in California, and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing that's nice about our service is that every month you'll receive a content calendar with every single planned post, and you can change anything you'd like to before a post is published. So our agents really like that they have full control over the posting and that it's local and personalized to them. Ugh, that's the wrong link. Sorry guys, I'll throw the link in the chat. But basically having consistent content going out on your page is a huge part of a good Facebook marketing strategy for targeting California buyers and just for reassuring your personal network that you're still active in real estate. So it is super important to keep up with. And that is pretty much it. So I will go through questions and that is about it. Let me flip my thing back.
Is your service a month to month, or is it, you know, do we have to commit to a certain time frame?
Excellent question. I always forget to cover that, but yes, it is just month to month. I started this business and I hate getting locked into contracts and stuff like that. So no, that is not a thing. There's not any kind of penalty if you cancel. You could literally have it for a day, cancel the next day. So yeah, you don't get locked into anything weird like that.
Two questions here, Emma. Number one from Joanne, how do we get in touch with you? You're going to go ahead and post your contact information here in the chat. And then, of course, myself or Shane, if you get in touch with us after the class, we can also get you in touch with Emma.
Yeah, I'll throw my...
Corey asked, are the posts you share unique to the Realtor, or are they the same posts for everyone?
Yeah, so sorry, I'm still typing. So what happens is we personalize the content with a personalization questionnaire. So whenever someone onboards with us, they fill out a personalization questionnaire and they tell us how they'd like to be contacted. You can choose phone, email, or Facebook message, and the interests they have. So you can pick things like outdoor activities, animals and pets, that kind of stuff. And then they also tell us the communities that they target. So they can say, you know, I'm a Southeast Valley agent, something like that. And that's how we personalize the content. And so if you're a Southeast Valley agent, you'll get posts about Chandler and that kind of stuff. So every agent does get different content. And we actually have a thing built into our software that makes sure that no agent has the same post go out in the same month. So it's possible across months you might see somewhat similar of a post, but we have a bank of thousands of people or of thousands of pieces of content, so it's not really a thing you need to worry about. Okay. All right, I can see the chat, so let me just see. Do you have references of agents who use Remodel Social and have gained tangible business from their Facebook page? So what I say with the content that we offer is that it was actually one of our clients told me this, and now I keep saying it back to people, but having content on your page is more of a defense than it is an offense, right? Because if you're doing anything on Facebook, or you just want to be searchable, or if you are searched and they get to your Facebook business page, if a person gets to your Facebook business page and the last thing they see is from 2017, they're going to think that you're not an agent anymore, right? They're not going to contact you. They're going to think, okay, this person's probably not active in real estate anymore. And similarly, if all they see on your post is just open houses and listings and they're way spaced out and it's kind of weird looking, they're going to be unsure if you really know a lot about the community or, you know, what qualifies you to be an agent. So it's really good for just making sure that you convert any referral traffic that is searching for you. So, so yeah, I do have some of my customers in this class if anyone wants to chime in, but it is really helpful to have just for that reason, if that makes sense.
Okay, quick question here.
Yep.
So actually, it's a two-part question. One is you said there's a flat fee for setting up a business page. How much would that be?
Yeah, so it's $99 to set up your Facebook business page.
Great. And you also mentioned that one can modify the content before being posted. Is it pretty easy to do that?
Oh yeah, especially if you are familiar in the G Suite thing of products, because it is just going to be in a Google spreadsheet. So you literally just click in, change it.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
No problem.
And is that $99, Emma? Is that with the Greystone discount?
Yeah, so I don't have a discount on the build outs just because they are a decent amount of work. But yeah, so that is just a flat fee.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Emma,
And
I
if
got
you guys, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Real quick too, I mean, that content counter you were showing, I mean, people can flip in if they've got a listing, they could put in a link to their listing as well in there too, right? They can flip that in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what a lot of our agents do is they'll just go in around the beginning of the month, and anything that they're trying to focus on, they'll just add a couple of words to the captions, and that way it's pretty specific to what they're doing at that exact moment. Yeah.
question, Emma.
Mhm.
You mentioned $99 flat fee to set up a business website page. What about taking an existing one that needs to be revamped?
So it's still going to be the same fee. If you are wanting a page and you already have a cover photo, I can give you a coupon that takes 50% off because that's most of the work. But yeah, so it's the same price whether I'm building a new one or fixing an old one, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we've got Emma captive here. So does anybody else any questions? Now's the time. At least stuff that's more general. Obviously, you've got Emma's contact information, and you can reach out to her.
Where is that contact information? I probably have it in another place, but I heard her talk about typing, but I never saw the stuff come up.
Let's see. I think I threw it in the chat, but I can do it again. Yeah, so the monthly fee, it does start at $26 a month with the discount, by the way. So yeah, the $26 a month would be for 2 posts per week, which again is the minimum I recommend. So yeah, and then the prices vary by post amount.
Yeah, her contact info is in the chat. It's about
Emma Toten, everyone. I get it now. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So it looks like Darcy said, when people like your page, where can you look to find out who it is? I'm guessing.
Can't you just hover over the likes, Emma?
Yeah, so there is a way to go into Facebook and see all of your page fans as well. So why don't I just, when I send you guys a follow-up email, I'll include a quick link that just has how to do that. Because yeah, you can go in and see who all your page followers are. And then that way, if it's someone you recognize or someone you want to reconnect with, that is a good way to do that. It's a good jumping off point, right? Because you can say, hey, I saw you like my Facebook business page. So that's good too. Okay, and I'm throwing my phone number in the chat too. So looks like we have another question. I have my Facebook business page, but I haven't given any maintenance. Can you review it and let me know how to take advantage of it? I barely look at it. Yes, I can do this. So basically, yeah, if you're wondering, do I need to revamp my page? Is there anything that wrong with it? If you just want to send me the link, I will happily look at it and tell you. And I will also tell you all the things that I would fix if I were you. And if you want to do it yourself, you are free to do that. Hopefully that answers her question. Sorry, let me just make a quick note that I need to send out that link as well, so that you guys know how to look at your page followers, because that is a good thing to keep in mind. Okay, any other questions? Wrapping up a little bit early, which is always good. Give you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, we still have a little bit of time if anybody's got any more questions.
Yeah.
If not, we can wrap it up and get out of
Here's
here.
a question. When's your next class of the same kind? Because it always helps to hear it twice.
My next class. So I'm doing this with another title agency towards the end of September. But I believe Kirk is recording this, so you can also just watch this one again.
Great, Kirk.
Yes, this is true. And so I will send you guys a link to this class. It probably, depending on workload, because I have to do that personally. I don't have an assistant to do that for me. but it'll be in the next, hopefully, 24 hours. I'll send everybody who attended the class a link so that they can watch this again and take more detailed notes. But again, I would encourage you guys. I use Emma for a lot of this type of stuff. She's very good at what she does and takes a ton off my plate. So I would encourage you guys to reach out to her directly. But that being said, we will be posting this. So stay tuned for that.
Perfect. Okay, looks like I have one more question. Do you include ads or boosts in your monthly pricing, or is that extra? So we don't do any kind of ad stuff for people. However, if you are a customer of ours, you have access to unlimited virtual consultations with me. I try to hold those on Fridays. I try to do a big block so that people can hop on with any questions that they have. So if you're one of our customers, you can get on, you can ask me stuff about running ads, about boosting, anything like that, and I can walk you through all of that. So we don't do it for you, but I can show you how to do it, and it's pretty easy, so you can figure it out.
Excellent.
Okay, does it look like we have anything else, or we're gonna give people 10 minutes of their day back?
Well, I want to give Emma a little bit of endorsement. She'll ask, no question is too small, and if you ask something really off the wall, she's got it at her fingertips. She's really well versed in this. She's not just a canned speech person who rips through things so quickly that you can't understand them. She really knows it that well. And if anything, she's very patient when she told you something that's really simple for her and you didn't get it. This is my second class with her. That's why I'm giving her the props. And Kirk, thank you for putting this together and recording it so we can go through it a second time.
My pleasure, and Shane as well, and of course Emma. It's a team effort, but yeah, we're happy to do it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, I had Ted on the other day answering some Facebook ads questions too. So yeah, I definitely can help you guys with that stuff. And again, you guys can figure it out. I believe in you. And I can walk you through everything.
All it takes is time and practice and a little patience. Yes.
A lot of patience, because
I'm living proof. I'm getting slightly better. It's incremental, but I'm getting there.
yeah, definitely.
I know how to find posts now and comment.
Very impressive.
I know. All right, should we wrap this thing up? Looks like we're pretty much done here. No more questions at this point, and we got some folks dropping off. So, hey, we're gonna get a few minutes back on our Wednesday here.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.
Thank
Shane,
you.
any parting words of wisdom?
Who, me? Are you kidding? Wisdom? What? Oh, happy Wednesday, everybody. Yeah, we'll get Emma's information out. If you didn't get it here, we'll send it out again. And Kirk's got this thing recorded, so we'll get that out too. So everybody will be able to contact Emma and put this thing together. Social media.
Yep, you guys can do it.
Yeah, it's the world we live in these days. Zoom meetings, and you got to be on social media. You have to. There's no substitute. So make it happen. Thanks, everybody.
Yep, thanks so much for coming, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.